In this video, we will talk about the Commonwealth Games. They're around the corner and we are super excited. There's also been a buzz throughout the year. Who will qualify for the Games? Well, we have our answer now. Ella Connolly and Rohan Browning are one of the top Australian sprinters that have been finalized for competing in the 2022 Commonwealth Games. Headlines have been all about them since then. Let's see what we know so far. First off, let's talk about the hype the Commonwealth Games have created. The Commonwealth Games of 2022 have been nothing short of iconic so far. The Games are scheduled to take place later this summer, but the selections that have taken place so far are mind-blowing. We have so many amazing athletes competing in the Games this year. A few of them had taken part before and want to reclaim their missed chances, while others have been dying just to get to this point. We have our returning competitor, Ella Connolly, then we have our male sprinter, Rohan Browning, rushing to qualify for the finals and then ultimately winning the championship. We also have our other skilled athletes such as Riley Day, Jake Doran, and many others. Australia will send a total of 85 track and field competitors to Birmingham for the Commonwealth Games this year. Olympic medalists from the Tokyo Games, Nicola Olislagers, Ash Maloney, and Kelsey Lee Barber, together with 800-meter competitors Joseph Deng and Peter Boll, secured their positions on the team earlier this year. Evan O'Hanlon, Samuel Carter, Jake Leppin, Christy Dawes, Madison De Rosario, Julie Charlton, and Sarah Edmiston are examples of Australian para-athletes. Given the World Championships in Oregon taking place next month, the biggest stars in Australian track and field are expected to have a hectic couple of weeks. Next up is Ella Connolly's selection for the 2022 Commonwealth Games. Sprinting sensation Ella Connolly will compete against most of the world's quickest women during this year's Commonwealth Games. 5 long years after making her World Championships first appearance as a rookie relay sprinter, our star had a rough 5 years prior to her selection. Connolly had missed out on the chance of competing with many teams in prior games because of her numerous injuries. Connolly, who is 21 years old and in excellent shape, will compete in the 100, 200, and 4x100 meter relays. The Queenslander was one amongst 53 athletes who were named to Australia's 85-person track and field squad on Tuesday for the Games, which will start in Birmingham later this summer. Great England contender and the 200-meter world champion for 2019, Dina Asher-Smith, will start with her, along with a number of runners throughout the US and the Caribbean. However, some teams, including Superpower Jamaica, have not yet finalized their rosters. Connolly's personal best times in the 100-meter, 11.25, and 200-meter distances, 22.95, were recorded during the most recent local summer season, although she intends to beat those times in Birmingham. Riley Day, a close friend and opponent, will compete with her in the 20-meter race in the sprinting relay. And now for Rohan Browning's chance at redemption in the 2022 Commonwealth Games. Rohan Browning is getting a shot at redemption again after missing his shot at winning the championship in the Commonwealth Games of 2018. The star took part in the 100-meter sprint, but sadly lost his chance at making it to the finals by a small margin. Browning also represented Australia at the World Championship in 2017, competing in the 4x100 meters relay. For this year's Games, the men's sprinting attack in Birmingham will be led by Rohan Browning, who narrowly missed becoming only the second Australian to breach the 10-second boundary at the Tokyo Olympics the year before. Browning is one of Australia's fastest short-track runners on his journey to high places, whereas Jake Doran, a 21-year-old Queenslander, has gotten picked for both the solo races and the relay. Browning will compete in the 100-meter and the 4x100 meter, coming to Eloise Wellings as the principal Australian observer. Eloise Wellings will make history as the first Australian track and field athlete to participate in 5 Commonwealth Games, which is at the other end of the skill spectrum. Wellings, a mother of 2, will compete in the marathon with Sinead Diver and Jessica Stenson as a member of a terrifying triple threat. Wellings took part for the first time in the Games in Melbourne and recounts the memory fondly. Our star remembers the thrill and the rush of adrenaline she felt as the audience looked at her breezing past. She said in an interview that she feared that her body would never be as good as it was after having kids. The chances of her returning to the field were pretty low, but she has defied all odds and shown us that it can be done. She managed to be chosen for Birmingham after trying her best to come to the same level as before. Wellings has all our support as she takes part in the Games this year. We hope to hear the news of a stunning victory soon. Let's see how well our star fares. Now, in other news, Israel Adesanya defeats Jared Cannonier at UFC 276 to keep the middleweight championship. In the UFC championship, Israel Adesanya outmoved Jared Cannonier and won by majority judgment because of his better range perception and motion skills. After his impressive victory, the New Zealander acknowledged Alex Pereira, who had earlier in the evening defeated Sean Strickland. The Brazilian had 2 wins against Adesanya in kickboxing before the two switched to MMA. Thus, the battle has a history. Alexander Volkanovski defeated Max Max Holloway in the co-main battle, winning by unanimous decision to keep his featherweight championship. The Australian defeated his American opponent for the third bout in 5 rounds, ending their long-running feud. This victory was made possible by the Australian's deft mobility and counterattacking. Since his championship in 2019, Adesanya has been unbeatable. The star has been basking in his glory, while remaining undefeated in the ring. Although Connolly had also won the majority of his previous fights, Adesanya found him no different than most of his previous opponents. He entered the ring wearing a hat and carrying an urn, just like The Undertaker. It didn't take that many kicks and punches before Connolly was faced with a humiliating defeat. The fighter had clearly underestimated his opponent's experience and skill. Dylan Groenewegen overtakes Wout van Aert as the Stage 3 winner of the Tour de France in 2022. In a nail-biting photo finish on round 3 of this year's Tour de France, Dylan Groenewegen claimed the victory. The Tour de France cycling competition this year was nothing short of exciting. Dutch racer Groenewegen, aged 29, staged a final effort to squeeze out his 6th Tour victory after Wout van Aert grabbed the advantage as he raced for the finish in Sonderborg. The 27-year-old Belgian van Aert had to accept the 2nd position for the 3rd day in a row as the flat 182-kilometer course from Weihel came to an end. However, after the first few stages in Denmark, he still holds the total advantage. Van Aert increased his advantage over Yves Lampaert to 7 seconds, and Tadej Pogacar, the 2-time title holder, is 3rd and 14 seconds behind Van Aert. Following Lampert's Stage 1 victory and Fabio Jacobsen winning Stage 2 on Saturday, Quick Step Alpha Vinyl was unable to claim the very first 3 phases of a tour due to Groenewegen's triumph. The Dutch rider Jacobsen, who was competing in the first tour, took part in the push for the finish line but eventually finished in 5th place. The tour will now go to France and continue on Tuesday with a challenging 171.5-kilometer course from Dunkirk to Calais. Wimbledon. Jule Niemeyer eliminated Heather Watson's chances of reaching her inaugural major quarterfinal. In a simple victory against Jule Niemeyer, Britain's Heather Watson had her chances of making maiden Grand Slam quarterfinal at Wimbledon shattered. In a match on center court that was accompanied by a celebration to honor the show court's centennial year, Watson lost 6-2, 6-4. Watson, who has participated in matches on each day of the competition thus far, broke serve to start the 2nd set, although she was unable to hold the lead. Watson's journey started off with a pretty impressive win against Tamara Korpash. Then, on Friday, she held off Kaja Juvan's late comeback to clinch her historic 3rd-round victory, 7 years after serving for the same aim against American superstar Serena Williams at SW19. She finally entered the solo 4th phase at the Slam after 42 tries thanks to her triumph. The centennial festivities on Sunday before Watson's debut center court game in her 12th Wimbledon participation guaranteed that there was undoubtedly a buzz in the air. In their lone prior encounter in Monterrey previously this year, Watson, who slipped out from the top 100 in February, upset Niemeyer in the last tiebreak. To balance the passionate local support, Niemeyer, competing in just her 2nd Grand Slam primary match, took control. The match was pretty tough, and there was a chance it could go both ways until a mistake made by Watson ultimately led to her defeat. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about Ella Connolly's selection for the Commonwealth Games? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.